everyone, Julian here. Today I'm going to be showing you how Archie, Hamilton, Rossi, and Traumer make their deep minimal house tech tracks, whatever you want to call them. To go along this video, I'm going to be using my new definitive house music sample library. The link is at the top of the description. This is a huge sample library with everything you need for house music. It's got bass lines, drums, kicks, hi-hats, percussion loops, and these groove loops as well, plus some synths, even a full track template project file, literally everything you need. It's available at the top of the description. I've got a little discount code there as well, so definitely go ahead and make sure to use that. It's a really great deal, and it'll only be going for a few days. This is the ultimate sample library for house music. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's dive into the video. Alright, so I'm going to use that pack, and we're going to start, as always, with house music. Let's go up to 129 BPM, right? Upper 120s is usually what you want for this style. And as always for house music, let's start with a kick. Okay, we're going to turn it up a little bit. Okay, let's use this one. Cool, so we're going to just put that in first. Always start with the kick, right? It's going to give you the anchor. And you have to think about, like, what's making up the groove in these tracks, right? You know, that big, steady don't is really a lot of what you're hearing and a lot of what's making up that whole groove. So you might as well just start with that. And then from there, the next thing is always the bass line. So for this, I like to use, you can use almost anything. Let's use operator. And what we're going to do, we're going to actually start with the notes, and then we will kind of make the sound around that. So okay, so it's a very simple pattern. It's just 3 notes, right? We're in the key of A minor, so we're doing the root note, the minor third, and the fourth. You know, you really don't want that many notes with this kind of bass line. And I like to start it up high, and you can hear the groove, and you can hear, you know, what it's going to be before actually, like, putting it down low like that. The other thing we want to do here is we're going to take all the notes that touch another note, and we're going to make them a little bit shorter so that they don't, like, and we can make that one maybe a little bit longer. Maybe even this one could be a little shorter too. So it kind of makes those groove a little bit more, as you can see. And then we're also going to go in here. Let's turn the release down on operator. Yeah, that's cool. And then we're going to get one of the Logic 16th swings. Maybe turn it down a little bit with this percentage here, so it's like a little bit less. Also, let's switch these so it goes back down to the root note. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's put this down a few octaves. Now I'm just holding down shift and down. Alright, let's get the sound. Let's give it a little bit more release. And let's actually switch this first oscillator out for a square. And then I'm going to bring in a little bit of the second one. And you can see it's adding a bit of punch to it because it's just like this really short oscillator envelope, but it's doing FM, so it's just adding some punch onto the beginning of the sound. And then we're going to get the low pass, turn off the frequency to key, so set it to 0, and then a little envelope. And there we go. You can see it's a very simple bass patch, but it's really full. Let's duplicate that out so we got it for the full 8 bars. And it's creating a lot of groove already just with these two simple elements. And you can bring back that second oscillator a little when you want it to be a little less punchy, you know. You can also try a saw wave for the first one. Or maybe even a saw for the second one. Cool, and then the last thing we would really want to do to that is I'm going to duplicate the kick, mute the first one, and call it sidechain. And then we're just going to use this as like a little click. And then we're going to sidechain the bass to that. Even though they're not playing at the same time, like none of the notes overlap, you still want to do this because it's going to make it groove a little more. And then we're going to do a little subcut on the bass, maybe at about like there. And it might seem like a lot, but you can see it just makes it a lot more like punchy and almost a bit more like grooving too. Because it's cutting out those frequencies that would weigh it down. And then we're going to convert that to mono, and then we're going to, on the kick, do a little low end cut as well. And then convert that to mono. Okay, so we got the foundation of the track. Now we need our hi-hat. So we're going to take this 909 and we're going to do a technique these guys do a lot, which is taking this big fat 909 hi-hat, right, like a very standard sound, and we're going to work with it a little and kind of make it more of this minimal. So right now you can see it's very long. So what we're going to do is bring the sustain all the way down here. And there you go. That's how they do these kind of like minimal hats you hear a lot. Put a little high pass on that. Alright, we're going to take that and then duplicate it. And we're going to layer it with this shaker. Put a little more punch. Maybe try like this sample instead. Bring it down so we don't clip. Alright, and then let's get the clap. So we're just getting like the main drums first, right? And this is going to give us something where we can then go and add all that background percussion. It's like you gotta dial all this stuff in first. Alright, so we got a great groove going on here, and you know, this really highlights what I was saying is like the groove happens in these main elements. All those background sounds are just gonna add to what's already happening here. Okay, so next we need something a bit live, I think, like this shaker would work really well. We'll copy the sidechain a little bit on there too from the bass. Got the kick in tune as well. The way I do that is I just put it up a few octaves. And you can hear the pitch of the kick, and then you just put it back down. Alright, so now we have this stuff. Now we can go and maybe get a few of the background percussions. And the way I like to do those is kind of like in groups. Like what I'll do is I'll get like one hi-hat like that, and then one percussion, and we'll make them talk to each other. And what I mean by this is we'll literally do like a pattern. Let's put the groove on this. So we'll put like one note in for this one, and then this is gonna somehow come out of that, like they're playing together. Like maybe it would be like this. And then maybe the second time it could be just this without that hit. Okay, so that's one little group of groove. Okay, and then what can happen is once you have those two, then in the next little quarter note here, you can put 2 more MIDI clips with these new sounds, and these will kind of like you have the call with these two, and then the response with these two. But then in these individual groups, there's call and response, right? Like here, this is the call, and this is the response, and then they add up together and create this like thing. So then maybe here it'll be like that, and then that one just hits there. Let's highlight both of these, put the groove on there again, and then you'll get. And then we could even take it and do like this too. And then over here, okay, so now let's do like. Maybe we'll pitch this one up a bit. Pitch this one a little too. Alright, so now if we listen back to that whole bar, we have a lot of groove happening because all these different elements are talking to each other. You have these 3 groups, this one, and this one, and they're all coming together to do something. And then, so we'll duplicate these, and then maybe like not that there, and not that one there. Okay, so we've got that, and then we can kind of zoom this out a little. And I still think we need a few more hi-hats here. So I'm just going to grab a drum rack and just grab a few hi-hats and put them in there. And we'll just make a little bit more groove with these. And it's not really hard. You kind of just have to throw them in, you know, listen to the beat and just try to throw them in where you feel like it needs them. Maybe turn this down a little. And then duplicate it. And this is how we can build up these dense, minimal sort of house grooves, right? Okay, so let's get one thing that's live. Like, that's really good. And then we can move up to some other instruments. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to use this technique where you go into Beats warp mode and you set these little arrows to just go to the right like that, and then it becomes a transient shaper. Pitch it up a little because this is minimal and we don't want it to be so in your face. Let's also copy the side chain on there. You know, and it's just a nice little blend. Alright, great. Now I want to throw in a few little synth things, you know, like some stabs. So I want to get this. There's this piano down here, and what we can do is grab a little piece of it. So this is F sharp, so let's go G, G sharp, A. Now we're in key. So we're going to take that and we're going to get a low pass here. And we're going to actually put an envelope on it. And see how we get this kind of like crazy stab? Maybe a little bit of delay on that. Tiny bit of like erosion and like a little hybrid reverb. Alright, now let's put in some notes. Put the groove on that. Alright, cool. So we got a nice little groove happening with that. We can grab some more little synth stabs here. Let's take that. That's already at A too. Okay, let's do another filter envelope on that with a bit of attack. And see, you kind of create like these cool stabs out of audio because you get a lot more texture with the audio. Alright, now let's create one with a bit of MIDI. I'm gonna just get operator. We'll make like a little FM kind of pluck here. You know, something simple, and then let's just put in a MIDI clip. And I'm gonna throw in a lot of stabs with this one. We're gonna mainly work with this A minor chord. And see how that's playing off of the other one? there we go. So that's how you make one of these tracks from scratch. We got everything now. All there is left to do is arrangement. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this new definitive house music sample library. The link is at the top of the description with everything you need, as you can see from this video. It's got everything you need to make a really great track from scratch in every style of house, especially this minimal stuff. It's a really great value. This is something you can get right now, and I promise you will be getting your music where you're trying to get it in this new year. Don't miss out, guys, while you got the discount code. Link is at the top of the description. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. Enjoy. I'm really trying to create a lot of great libraries like this at an affordable price so we can all make the best music of our lives. Definitely support the cause. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.